Hello. Hey, Wave. Whew. Hello, Wave. Y'all are the only people that know what to do. Hello, Wave. Let's try it again. Hello, Wave. That's better. No, I mean, it's up to y'all. Okay, a few quick reminders, and then we're going to play a game. So, next Sunday is LifePoint's 10-year birthday celebration, right? So, we will not have Wave here next Sunday evening. We're going to go to where the birthday celebration is, okay? That's the Ridge at Summit Farms. There's going to be barbecue. There's going to be music. There's going to be games and stuff, okay? So please don't show up here for Wave. Please go to the birthday bash. It's from 5 to 8-ish, okay? Next Sunday, got it? The following Sunday is Labor Day weekend. Remember, we don't meet on holiday weekends, okay? Lawton, you're more than welcome to come. And then the following Sunday, I'm going to tell you a date. September the 10th is Calla's birthday. Happy birthday, Calla. And night of worship at the Farm Center. So they'll have 5 bands, I think, are playing at the night of worship. I think it starts at 3. It'll go until everybody's finished. But Zion Quartet, and then I think it is Foothills, us, Golden Corner. Who else? Calvary. Is Calvary playing? Calvary, Zion. There's 5, right? Foothills, yeah, Golden Corner and us. So they'll be playing, there'll be food trucks, there'll be coffee trucks, I'm quite sure, all the stuff. So so for 3 weekends, we won't technically have a Wave here. We'll be doing other things within the church, okay? I need everybody's opinion for night of worship. In the past, I've gotten like 15 pizzas, and y'all just come and eat as you want. But there will also be food trucks that you'll have to pay for. So do you want free pizza or do you want food trucks? Think about it. No. I'll pay for the pizza. You pay for the food truck. So if you want free pizza, raise your hand. Done. Okay, got it. Perfect. You will want, hey, listen, I will have free pizza there, and I will have bottled water. If you want anything different, you can buy it from the food trucks and stuff there. You'll want to bring a camp chair, like a folding camp chair, or a big blanket to hang out on, okay? I'll have a spot for you in the back because it's loud, but if you want to get closer in the mosh pit, I'm good with that, okay? It gets loud up there, y'all. It gets real loud. But anyway. Okay, questions about the next 3 Sundays? No. Okay, perfect. Afterwards, after sermon, we're going to stay and we'll need to break up into groups, okay? Because I need to see that. Okay, Will's going to explain a game we're going to play.
Okay. Is my thing on?
Turn that on.
Hello? 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 Hello?
Hello?
Mine?
Marco.
Mine?
Marco?
Hello? Hello?
There he is.
All right. So, split into groups of like 5's not going to be enough. Do like 8-ish.
What's it for?
8 to 10.
8 to 10.
Right here.
Take it. All right, let me know once you got your 8. All right, actually, once you get your 8, bring one person to come up here and get the paper.
Do I have to do anything in person? We need one more. What do we need to do?
All right, so listen. So here's what we're doing. I'm going to give you a piece of paper. It's got the alphabet on it, so A through Z, okay? What this is you're going to get the Bible or a Bible that's in the back of your seat, and you have to find a name from the Bible, a person's name from the Bible for every single letter, okay? We're going to... Huh? No, you just have to find one. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what the names are, as long as it's a biblical name. Then we're going to give you 3 minutes. We're going to give you 3 minutes. At the end of those 3 minutes, we'll bring your things who has the most, okay? Yes. But no. One for each. One for each letter. One for each letter, okay? All right. Ready, go. Here.
Just any name?
No. Yes.
I need to know. Come on. Write the facts.
Here, you have 2.
I got one.
Yeah, start. Has everybody got one?
Y'all need help? Hey, start a timer.
Yeah.
I feel like you'll need more than one Bible. Hold on.
Don't look over here.
Don't be spitting in my drink. Got less than a minute. Thirty seconds. All right, so Jamal's team got first, Landon's team got second. And then there was like 3 ties at 19. All right. Fine. If you think Jamal and them cheated, Jamal, here's a question for you. Did Adam and Eve have belly buttons? Did Adam and Eve have belly buttons?
No.
Explain.
They didn't come from the womb. God made them. There was nothing to connect to it.
What part of the belly button is in the womb?
Is this a neck? I don't know.
I don't know. I just wanted to see what your answer. I don't know the answer to that, but.
Because we're made in God's image, so we have a belly button for a reason. So they would have stuck with it.
All right. Have a seat. Let's worship.
You should have asked.
Hello. Hey, Wave. How are we? Good? Awesome. All right, well, let's stand and worship together tonight. Sometimes on this journey, I get lost in my mistakes. What looks to me like weakness is a canvas for your strength. And my story isn't nowhere, my story's just begun. And failure wants to find me, 'cause that's what my Father does. And no failure wants to find me, 'cause that's what my Father does. Ooh. Lay your burdens down. Ooh, here in the Father's house. Check your shame at the door, 'cause it ain't welcome anymore. Ooh, you're in the Father's house. Arrival's not the end game. The journey's where you are. And you never check your shame at the door, 'cause it ain't welcome anymore. Ooh, you're in the Father's house, and ooh, lay your burdens down. Ooh, here in the Father's house, check your shame at the door, 'cause it ain't welcome anymore. Ooh, you're in the Father's house. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. And you rendered heaven, and the veil was torn in two. You gave us your spirit, and now we are close, closer than we think. Creation is groaning, longing for the unseen. Here in this moment, eternity's close, closer than we think. What are they singing? What is it like? You are surrounded with thunder and light. Everything in us, the longing, the ache, to join with the heavens, the anthem of praise. Holy. The train of his robe, filling the temple. The elders and angels are all bowing down, casting their crowns. The Lamb who was slain, you are the risen King. Jesus, our Savior, you're Alpha, Omega, end and beginning. Lion of Judah, the one on the throne, the only one worthy to open the scrolls. You split the heavens and come for your bride. Fulfill all you promised with fire in your eyes. There's nobody like you. There's nobody like you. Blessing and honor and glory and power belong to you alone. Blessing and honor and glory and power belong to you, belong to you. Blessing and honor and glory and power belong to you alone. Blessing and honor and glory and power belong to you, belong to you. Blessing and honor and glory and power belong to you alone. Blessing and honor and glory and power belong to you, belong us the longing we ate to join with the heavens, the anthem. Oh, what are they singing? What is it like? You are surrounded with thunder and light. Everything in us, the longing we ate to join with the heavens, the anthem. Jesus, you are You're holy. He's holy. Holy. Oh, yes. Jesus, we thank you that you are so holy, Lord. You are so good to us. You're matchless in every way. Lord, we thank you that we can bring you our burdens, our insecurities, our anxiousness and our fears and our doubts, and just lay them at your feet. Lord, I thank you that every heart in here just can surrender whatever we're going through, whatever we're facing at your feet, because you are our safe place, Lord. Lord, I thank you for the ones that came here tonight, Lord, that the songs that we just sang would just penetrate in their hearts. Lord, that the word that Will has to bring would just speak to them in so many ways. Lord, you are the one thing that we want. You are the one thing we desire. Thank you for how good you are and how much you love us. We praise you. We worship you. Amen.
All right, how are we? Good-ish, okay, all right, fair. School, good? Not good? In the middle? In the middle? Does anybody have any tests yet? Ooh. What kind of test? Syllabus. A test on the syllabus? Ooh. What's your favorite class? Social studies? ELA? Lunch? Anybody have any like basketball class or baseball class, football class, volleyball class, softball class? Oh, second person. Baseball class? Those are my favorite classes. All right, so does anybody remember what we talked about last week?
Not really.
Thing. All right, well, last week we talked about, yes, kind of. There's a good and the bad. So we talked about two sons out of Matthew, and Jesus was teaching to the Pharisees and stuff like that, and he talks about these two sons. One son that does anybody remember?
Good.
Did good, but he said his father asked him to go work, and he said what?
He will.
He will, and then he didn't. And then there was another son that said, father asked him, said, hey, will you go work for me? And he said, no, but he did, right. And so Jesus asked the Pharisees, he said, now which one did the will of his father? And it was the one that said no and then did it, right. But I challenged you to be the son or the daughter that does what? Says yes and does it, right? Because you have a lot of people, a lot of times we like getting in school and we like to say, yes, we love Jesus, but then we act a completely different way, a way that doesn't reflect Jesus, a way that doesn't show that we love Jesus. So I challenge you to not only be the person that says you love Jesus, but that actually loves him by your actions and loves others and acts like you know Jesus and that you love Jesus. So tonight we're going to talk about a story out of Exodus 17, 11 through 13. So if you have your Bible or the Bible on the back of your chair, you can open up to there. But I want to tell you a story. So I loved playing football. Loved it. Football was truly my first love. I loved everything about football. Still love everything about football. Wish that I could still play football. Can't, okay? I would hurt myself. But I wish I could, all right? But I've loved sports my whole life. I started playing basketball and baseball when I was about 4 or 5 years old. I started playing football when I was about 9, and immediately football was like my most favorite thing I've ever done. And so I played football all the way up through high school. Loved playing. I played tight end and linebacker. But one thing I love about sports is that in all, especially team sports, it takes a what? A team, right? A team sport is called a team sport for a reason, because it takes a team. It takes people around you that are going to do their job. If you do your job and they do your job, then you're going to be successful. If you don't do your job and everybody else does the job, you're probably not going to be that successful. So I played tight end and linebacker. If you go into my office down there, I have 3 football helmets above my office. I have a Walhalla one, and I have 2 West Oak ones. One of the West Oak ones was the one that I wore in high school. I'm getting a Seneca one, so don't worry. It's on the way, okay? So I have a Seneca West Oak and Walhalla one. I also have a picture with his stats and stuff of a guy named Jason Witten. Does anybody know who Jason Witten is? Yes. A few of you? Okay, so Jason Witten was a tight end. He doesn't play anymore. Played for the Dallas Cowboys for a long time. I loved Jason Witten. Okay, Jason Witten was like my favorite player ever because he was a tight end. So I wanted to play just like Jason Witten. Jason Witten didn't look the biggest, but he was pretty fast. He was like sneaky fast. He was really strong. He played hard. He had all kinds of records, all kinds of stuff. Anyway, I love Jason Witten, right? But in a tight end, you do 2 things. You block and you catch passes sometimes. I went to West Oak, so I didn't catch too many passes. I blocked a lot, though, okay? I blocked a lot. My senior year, we went 0-10, so, all right. It's all right. I learned to persevere, all right? All right, anyway, but I loved playing tight end. So as a tight end, I know some of you don't care, but this is a good example, all right? So you have a thing that's called a defensive end. So as a tight end, most of the time, you're either going to block that guy or you're going to leave that guy, okay? And then it's the quarterback's job to read that defensive end and then either hand off the ball, to pitch the ball, to keep the ball, to pass the ball. He has a lot of options. But if I mess up and I block that end, it blows up the whole play. If I leave that end like I'm supposed to, but the quarterback doesn't read it, it blows up the whole play. If I leave him alone, quarterback reads it right, but the running back goes the wrong way, whole play's blown up. If I do my job, quarterback does his job, running back does his job, but the center doesn't get the snap to the quarterback, whole play's blown up. See where I'm going with this? Everybody has a very, very important part on a football team. Same way with baseball, same way with basketball, same way with softball, same way with volleyball. Every team sport, you have a job to do, and if you do your job and everybody else does your job, you're going to be pretty good, right? And so I love sports because of this, because it taught me so many different life lessons. There's so many things I can look back on all the sports I played, and I can apply so many things to my life from sports. And that's exactly what we're going to look at tonight, is a story of a team, okay? So I'm going to read you a story from the Old Testament. Like I said, it's from Exodus 17, 11 through 13. So it'll be up here, but if you have your Bible. It says this: while Moses held his hands, Israel prevailed. But whenever he put his hands down, Amalek prevailed. When Moses' hands grew heavy, they took a stone and put it under him. He sat down on it. Then Aaron and Hur supported his hands, one on one side and one on the other, so that his hands remained steady until the sun went down. So Joshua defeated Amalek and his army with the sword. Okay, I want you to do something. I want everybody to hold their hands up like this. Don't put them down, okay? Hold your hands up like this, all right? Keep doing it and just listen. So, Moses had a super important job, right? Had a really important job. His job was to do this and to pray. Okay? He was supposed to do this and pray. Do this, pray. Do this, pray. Do this, pray. This is what he was supposed to do the whole time. I don't know how long, hours, maybe. It says till the sun went down, they were fighting a battle. A battle doesn't happen in 30 minutes. A battle happens over a course of a whole day at least. So Moses stood like this and prayed all day long, okay? All day long. And what happened is Moses is watching Joshua fight Amalek, and he's watching off of this mountain. So he's looking down on this battle. And so his arms are held up like this, and he's praying and he's praying and he's praying. How many of your arms getting tired a little bit? Yeah? Okay, so his arms started to come down a little bit. He started to lose a little bit of his arms, and he started watching this battle, and all of a sudden Amalek starts beating Joshua. So he throws his arms back up and realizes Joshua then starts beating Amalek. Then his arms start creeping down again, and he realizes that Amalek's beating Joshua. So he quickly comes to learn that he has to keep his hands up, and he has to keep praying. We've been doing this 2 minutes, maybe. I don't even think that long. How many of your arms are starting to get really tired?
They don't know me, son.
So, my shoulders are getting pretty tired. This would suck, right? You can put your hands down. That would be really hard, right? Some of you can do it the whole time while I'm preaching, but after all day long, there's no way. You're mentally, physically, you're going to be drained, right? And it's hard. It's hard to do this the whole time. Moses has what we call a posture of prayer in this. He had his hands lifted high. He was crying out to God. He was praying that Joshua would defeat Amalek. And while he did this, he would. But he realized when his hands came down that Amalek started to prevail. And so Psalms 18:39 says this, "For you equipped me with strength for the battle. You made those who rise against me sink under me." Even though Moses was physically, mentally, emotionally drained, he still persevered. He still knew that if he did that, then God was going to come through on his promises. That if he did what he was supposed to, then God was going to be there. But he didn't do it alone, because there was 2 other people there. Aaron and who? Hur, H-U-R. I guess that's how you say it. Sounds good enough to me. Hur. So Aaron and Hur. So he had these 2 really good friends there with him, right? And in the story, it says when Moses' hands started getting tired, when his arms started getting tired, Aaron and Hur did what? They brought a stone over, and Moses sat on it. And then they also did what? Held his hands. Now, do this again. Okay? You already know that after a little bit, your hands are going to get tired. Now, the person next to you, so whoever's in the middle, grab the person beside you and hold their arm up for them. That feels a lot better, right? It feels like you can do that for a lot longer, right? All right, you can put your hands down. So this is what Aaron and Hur did for Moses. They were there in the midst of the battle with Moses, and they held his hands up for him. When his hands started dropping, when he started getting discouraged, when he was like, I can't do this anymore, he held his hands up. They encouraged him. They loved him. Galatians 6:2 says this, "Carry one another's burdens, and this way you will fulfill the laws of Christ." This is what they were doing. They were carrying Moses' burdens for him in this moment. They gave him a rock to sit on. They gave him something to sit down on, take a rest. They took the pressure off of him, and they held his hands up so that Joshua and his army could defeat Amalek and his army. So Moses was struggling mentally, physically, emotionally, in every single way you could imagine. Like doing this for a long time is really hard. We did these things called cherry pickers when I was in middle school playing basketball. And you did this. We did it for like 30 minutes straight, and I couldn't feel my arms the next day. It's awful, okay? And that was only 30 minutes. But Moses did this all day long. And I can promise you, if he wouldn't have had Aaron and Hur there to hold his arms up, to take some of the weight off him, to encourage him, Joshua and his army would not have prevailed. They would have been defeated. Amalek and his army would have defeated them. It wouldn't have been good for the Israelites. But because he had 2 really good friends there with him, they were able to overcome. And because of that, Joshua was very successful. So, as a part of the family of God, you have to be able to come to the aid of your brothers and sisters when they're weary, when they're tired, when their arms need held up, whatever it is. Philippians 2:3-4 says, "Do nothing from selfish ambition or consent, but in humility count others more significant than yourselves. Let each of you look not only on his own intentions, but also on the interest of others." Or on his own interest, but also on the interest of others. So, this verse tells us right here, Moses had a choice in this. Moses could have said, you know what, this is too much. I can't do this. I'm not holding my hands up. I'll pray and maybe we can do a truce or something, but I'm not doing this anymore. And then Joshua would have been defeated. In fact, Joshua may have been killed if Moses would have put his hands down. If Aaron and Hur would have woke up that morning and was like, I really don't think I want to go with you, Moses. This is a long walk up this hill and I'm just not really feeling it. I want to sleep in today. Or if they would have said, Moses, we'll hold your hands up, but then who's going to hold our hands up while we're holding yours up? I don't really know about this, Moses. If they would have put themselves in front of the situation, then it wouldn't have worked out. They had to sacrifice what was comfortable for them to be able to help their brothers. They immediately helped Moses, which helped Joshua. What's interesting about this is I don't know that Joshua knew that they were up there praying for him. Joshua knew that Amalek and his army were starting to beat them a few times, and then all of a sudden they weren't. But I don't know that he knew that Moses and Aaron and Hur were up there praying on his behalf. And this life is crazy. School's crazy. May not be right now, but it's going to get crazy. You're going to have some crazy friends. You're going to have some crazy people. Things in life are going to get chaotic. Things are going to happen that you can't control. If you don't have people in your life like Aaron and Hur and Moses that were fighting for Joshua, if you don't have people like Aaron and Hur that were fighting for Moses, you're not going to make it through this life. You're not going to. If you don't have people in your life that are willing to pray for you, that are willing to lift you up, that are willing to encourage you, this life's going to be really, really, really rough. I know this because I have people in my life, have some older ladies that I know, older ladies and guys that I know every single day that wake up and pray for me. I have some guys, some mentors that I know that I could call right now and I could ask them anything, I could tell them anything, and no matter what, they would love me for who I am. I also have friends that would drop everything they're doing to come pick me up when I'm down. And then when I do something stupid, they would also call me out and say, hey, look, dude, you're not supposed to be doing that. You have to have those people in your life that are going to walk through this life with you. So I got 3 points for you, and then we're done for the night. So number 1, find a group that will lift your hands. Find a group here at Wave. I hope that's your small group. I hope the people here, me and Sarah and your leaders, and even the people that are in your small group, each other, I hope and pray that they lift your hands up when you need them to. And I hope that you have the courage to be able to go to them and ask them for help. Moses, I know, had to ask for help in this. They were attentive enough to know that Moses needed help. But I know Moses was like, guys, my arms are getting really, really tired. And if I don't keep them up, that's not going to be good for Joshua. Will you help me do this? You have to be able to do that for each other. But not only here, at school. This is one night a week. That's it. It's all Wave is one night a week. There's 6 other days in the week. 5 of those days you're at school. And you're there for 8 hours, right? Don't you think that's a pretty important place to have a community that's going to lift you up? You spend the majority of your time at school right now. You need to have people in that school that are willing to lift you up when you're down, that are willing to fight with you and for you, that are willing to go pray for teachers, that are willing to do a Bible study with you, that are willing to go to FCA, YCI, whatever it is, that are willing to get in a community at your school. Because just like last week, you can't be the person that goes into your school and says, yes, I'm a Christian and I love Jesus, and then doesn't act like it. You have to be the person that says, yes, I love Jesus, and then actually acts like it. So find that community at your school. Listen, if you went up and had a group of you, and you went and prayed for your teacher, it would absolutely blow their mind, and it would make them feel so special. I know this because at West Oak Middle School last year, I went and spoke at an FCA, and I challenged the students there to go and pray for a teacher today. I said, just go and pray for them. It will take you 30 seconds. And a group of 4 girls went and prayed for a teacher, and about an hour later, I got a forwarded email from the huddle leader, and it was from the art teacher, and she said, these 4 girls just came up to me and prayed for me, and you have no idea what I'm going through right now. I am really, really struggling in life, and these girls praying for me meant so much to me. I couldn't tell them thank you enough. I mean, she was just raving about how much it meant to her that these students came and prayed for her. You can do that. You don't have to be a pastor. You don't have to know everything about the Bible. You don't have to know anything about the Bible. Just go and pray for them. It would make their whole week, I guarantee it. You can do that. You can have a Bible study at lunch. A big group of you, get at a lunch table. Read the Bible together. When you do it alone, it's scary and it sucks and you may get made fun of. But if you get a group of 20, 50, 100 of you, and you all get at a lunch table and you start reading the Bible, people won't make fun of you. People won't pick on you. In fact, they'll probably come sit down with you. You can do that. It's not illegal for you to do that. Okay? Number 2, have friends that will pray for you in the battle. You cannot be scared to pray for each other. I feel like a lot of times we don't want to open up to each other because we're afraid that we're going to get picked on. We're afraid that this person's going to air all of our dirty laundry and they're going to say this about me and they're going to say that about me. Listen, have those people in your life that you can go to and you can tell them anything. I have those people in my life. I didn't always have those people in my life. Honestly, just until college is when I found those people. I found those people that I could go up to, and I knew that if I told them that I had murdered somebody, they would have been like, look, that's definitely not right. But, we're going to figure this out, okay? They may have turned me in because that would have been the best thing to do. But hey, they were friends. They would have told me that I did stupid stuff. I use that example because you should be able to tell your friends anything. And they shouldn't condemn you. They shouldn't put you down. They shouldn't tell you that you're the scum of the earth. What they should do is they should be like, look, you know that's not right. You know you shouldn't do that. But listen, I still love you. I still care about you. Let's figure this out together. How can I help you? How can I walk through this with you? What can I do? Can I pray for you? What can I be praying about? What does your home life look like? Can we do a Bible study together? How can I help you? You need to be that for other people, and you need to have those people that can be that for you. And like I said, have that here, and then let this carry over into school. Find those people at school. And then a big group of you go and pray for kids that are sitting alone. Go and pray for teachers. Have those people that are praying, that are willing to pray for you when you're going through the thick of it. When you're going through the battle, when things suck. Because listen, this life, it stinks sometimes. I wish I could stand up here and tell you that being a Christian is great. It's the best thing ever. And it is. It is the best thing ever. But it's not cupcakes and rainbows. It's not just a walk in the park. It's not just this happy, feel-good thing all the time. There's a joy and an unexplainable peace that you have in every situation. I can tell you that. But that doesn't mean hard things aren't going to come. That doesn't mean you're going to lose friends, that you're going to lose family members, that things aren't going to go your way, that parents aren't going to get divorced, that all this stuff isn't going to happen. Jesus doesn't promise us that none of that stuff is going to happen. But what he does promise is that when those things do happen, that he'll be with you. And what he does say is that, like he says in Galatians, that we need to carry one another's burdens in those moments. Number 3, keep pushing even when it's hard. This one's on you. You have to understand that this life is going to be messed up, that things are going to happen, that it's not going to be perfect all the time. And you have to decide that you're going to trust God in whatever situation. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter what happens. Doesn't matter what comes. That you are going to fully put your faith and trust in Jesus. Because you can have friends that come around you and that rally around you and that love you and show you Jesus' grace and mercy and all this other stuff. But if you yourself don't decide that you want to change, or that you want to get out of this situation, or that you want to be able to overcome this, and if you don't lean into Jesus too, then it's not going to really work. So keep pushing even when it's hard. Moses, even though that they took most of the pressure off his arms, he still had to pray. They couldn't make him physically pray. They couldn't make him talk. He still had to do that on his own. He still had to choose to hold his hands up above his head. Do your part. Do your job. Understand that just like I told you last week, you can go out into this world and you can try everything that you want to try to find something better than Jesus, but there isn't. I can tell you that because I've been there. I've done that. I've done all the things that you can imagine. I've had all this world has to offer, and it all leaves you meaningless. It leaves you empty. One of my favorite stories, we're talking about sports, so I'll keep talking about it. One of my favorite stories is Tom Brady was doing an interview one time. It was after he won like his second or third Super Bowl. He had won MVPs. He has all this money, had an amazing family, literally married a supermodel, like had kids, like had the dream. And he told these reporters, he said, I've done all this stuff, but I still feel like there's something else. There's something more. Tom Brady, chasing that something more, is now divorced. He went, I think he had pretty much a losing season, his very last season. I mean, but he didn't win. Yeah, exactly. They came cheap because he wasn't good, right? He chased all this world had to offer him, and yet it wasn't enough. Had nothing else for him. Patrick Mahomes is the same thing. I watched a documentary called Quarterback on Netflix. Really cool documentary. Patrick Mahomes says the same thing. He's won Super Bowls, MVPs, went to the Pro Bowl, all kinds of other stuff, and he still says there's something else out there. I have to get to this next thing. You can do whatever you want to till the end of the world, and you can chase it all, but nothing is going to be better than a relationship with Jesus. And you have to decide that for yourself. So we're gonna pray. We're gonna sing. If you need to talk to anybody, I'm here. Sarah's here. Your leaders are here. We're here for you. We love you. We want to hold your hands up when things get rough. We want to be there for you when life stinks, when things happen. But you have to be willing to open up to us, and you have to be willing to talk to us. Let's pray. Lord, just thank you so much for all that you do. Thank you for your grace and your mercy. I just pray over these students as they go back into their schools this week, as they come in contact with so many lost friends, Lord. Lord, I pray that you would just burden their hearts for their friends that don't know you, for their family members that don't know you, for their classmates that don't know you, for their teachers that don't know you. Lord, I pray that you would just give them the boldness to live a life that is worthy of you, that you would put people in their paths to pray for, to love on, to encourage. And Lord, that you would put people in their lives that will do all those same things for them. And God, I just thank you for them. I thank you for their willingness to just come and listen to your word. And Lord, I pray that not stay here, and that they would take it back out into their schools. Listen, in your precious holy name we pray. Amen.
Let's stand and worship. I'll live for the moments where I'm still in your presence and all noise dies down. The Lord speak to me now, and you have all my attention. I will linger and listen. I can't miss a thing. Lord, I know my heart wants some more of you. My heart wants something new, so I surrender all. And all I want is to live within your love. fears into the wind. I'm desperate for a touch of heaven. Whoa, whoa, whoa. You're the fire in the morning. You're the cool in the evening. The breath in my soul. You're the life in my bones. There is no hesitation in your love and affection. It's the sweetest of all. Lord, I know my heart wants some more of you. My heart wants something new, so I surrender all. And all I want is to live within your love and be undone by who you are. My desire is to know you deeper, Lord. I will open up again, throw my fears into the wind. I'm desperate for a touch of heaven. Whoa, whoa, I open up my heart to you. I open up my heart to you now. So do what only you can. Jesus, have your way in me now. I open up my heart to you. I open up my heart to you now. So do what only you can. Oh, Jesus, have your way in me now. I open up my heart to you. I open up my heart to you now. So do what only you can. And Jesus, have your way in me now. And all I want is to live within your love and be undone by who you are. My desire is to know you deeper, Lord. I will open up again, throw my fears into the wind. I am desperate for a touch of heaven. Whoa, whoa, come on, you sing. And all I want is to live within you, be undone by who you are. My desire is to know you deeper, Lord. I will open up again, throw my fears into the wind. I'm desperate for a touch of heaven. Thank you, Jesus.
All right, so y'all are going to groups. Yes. All right. Sarah's going to split you off into groups. Also, tell you what, while you doing that, give me all the leaders right out here for a second.